Thanks, Don.
If there's no other discussion, item 98 is discuss possible amendment to Title 12 of the Clark County Code regarding graffiti, Section 12.42.055, spray painted markers, possession by a minor, and take action deemed appropriate. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, what up?
I'll begin. Sure, thank you very much. Just want to put the items on record. Madam Chair and Madam Manager, if you will, I know this is going to be ready for record today. We're going to come back in here a little bit more of this a little later. Am I correct on that? Would I be correct on that? That we will come back at a later date?
Commissioner, are you referring to this item?
Yes, ma'am, as we amended Title 12.
Yes, that would be the process in the board's policy procedures, that you would, at a meeting, introduce what you wanted to discuss, and then we would bring this back as in the form of an ordinance for your consideration.
Absolutely. We just wanted to put a couple of items on the record here today. We have Detective Scott Black, who's here with us from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Gang Unit, as well as Saber from our staff here who will help share some language. And I guess, Detective Black, did you want to comment before I go to the overheads, please?
If you'd like to do that, you do that first.
All right, if you don't mind, if you all would direct your attention to the video screens, I just want to give you all a little short presentation on what we're addressing here today. Detective Black, you can maybe give some audio for us here, since there's
This individual here, this is actually in Los Angeles County where this is actually occurring, but this is a person who has done probably estimate $50,000 to $60,000 in graffiti damage here in southern Nevada as well. He's currently incarcerated in California. We assisted Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in an investigation. He's incarcerated in California. Probably the most significant thing about this video, as it pertains to this ordinance, is his age. I don't have his exact age, I don't have his numbers right here in front of me, but he's about 27 years old. This here is actually in Las Vegas. What this gentleman here is doing is he has a fire extinguisher. Instead of water, he has paint in it. When you're driving along the freeway and you see these large graffiti tags like that, that's how they do that. He's he's probably, that person there we've also identified, he's also in his latter 20s. And the point about that we'd like to make, there is this misconception out there that graffiti is just a juvenile issue, that it's just kids doing it, and that's not factual. Based on our investigations and arrests made by Metro, we find that it's about 50-50 among juveniles to adults. But the thing that makes these videos really significant, we find that the vast majority of the more costly graffiti, which is the overpass signs and the larger type graffiti that they put on structures, is disproportionately toward adults. The people we're arresting for doing these overpass signs, which each sign you see over I-15, for example, is $13,000 in damage. It's a reflective material and it has to be replaced. It can't always be repaired. The vast majority of those individuals we arrest are age 18 to about 25, although we have had them much older than 25.
And we want to give you a little video footage here today, just to kind of show you for all those inquiring minds out there who always wonder, how do they get up there and put that graffiti there? And show you all the visual today.
If you saw the long version of this particular video here, you see he just climbs over that's the type of bridge structure you can just climb over. The I-15, for example, where Sahara Avenue flies over, I-15, that one there, they get underneath and they just crawl on the inside. There's a metal ledge in it that's only about 6 inches, but it's enough that they go ahead and risk it. And they go all the way across. It takes them about probably 10-15 minutes to get over there, and then they just climb out and they just do it that way. They just reach over that way.
And could you dispel a myth that there are those out there that believe that this goes on between 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning?
It goes on at all times. As you can see, there's more videos available. Actually, where they pull up a car on I-15, they get out with their fire extinguishers and they put graffiti in broad daylight. A lot of these guys, particularly the older ones, the ones that are in their 20s and even occasionally in their 30s, they're daredevils. The reason that they do this is for property damage, and also they do it because they get a rush out of it. They like to be very daring. This gentleman here, for example, he did most of his work in broad daylight because it just makes it more risky for him. There's a higher risk for him to get arrested. He knows he's going to be reported by the police. He has to hurry up before the cops arrive to arrest him. That's part of the satisfaction that he and a lot of these graffiti vandals get out of doing this.
Okay. And so if you would, just for the record, if you could come and just maybe speak into the record in terms of us kind of coming in conformance with the other municipalities, please.
That's correct. In 2007, there was AB 14 that was done to target many different offenders in graffiti, and our current ordinance is actually not in line with the City of Las Vegas's ordinance. After the 2007 session, they went ahead and changed their ordinance so that the possession of graffiti implements was illegal for all folks, regardless of their age. And our ordinance currently specifies only those who are minors. So by getting rid of the reference to minors and making it illegal for minors and adults to possess with the intent to do graffiti, we come into conformance both with state law and also with the City of Las Vegas, and make it easier for Metro to enforce on both sides of the street.
And just for the record, we spent a lengthy amount of time talking about lobbyist contracts, whereas this is kind of a broken, folks. But when you look at the dollar figure that we actually spend taxpayers' dollars, what numbers will we all put on the record today here in 2010? Because I know that number has increased.
We are on pace this year. Last year, public and private funds, the estimate exceeds $30 million in southern Nevada, which includes Clark County, Las Vegas, and the other municipalities within the county. So we are at $30 million, and there's no reason to believe that it's not going to increase this year.
And I know this year alone, between Commissioner Berry, Commissioner Giuliani, and I have held a number of graffiti cleanups. It's like we do one weekend, and a week later it looks like we've never been in the neighborhood. And so what we're really trying to do is we're really trying to come into conformance with the other municipalities, and just wanted to just put some things on the record so that folks can see that we're really serious about this, and we want everybody to believe it and understand that this is just not young folks who are doing this. There are a bunch of adults out there as well. And we want our kids carrying backpacks with books and school supplies and not a bunch of graffiti material that are going and facing private property. So we're really serious about this, and I believe that this here will hold everybody accountable. And so if there are any questions, I'm of Ms. Saber or Detective Black. Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Giuliani.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that, because one of the task forces had mentioned, because as a school teacher, I always thought it was the younger kids, and they said the actual average age, I think, was 20 to 35 or something along those lines, and that they can purchase those bungee jumping outfits and whatever else they need to get up and about. But this will be, I didn't realize we were not in sync with the other local jurisdictions, so I thank the Commissioner for bringing that forward, because at least it closes one additional loophole that makes it consistent throughout the valley. So I think the agenda item for it does need to come back to us. So.
I want to thank Ms. Saber as well as Joe Vitello very much for working with us on that and bringing that to my attention as well. And they've done a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we kind of get in conformance, because I know one of the bullets that I have in my backup material here talks about prevention of Clark County becoming known as lenient among graffiti vandals, and that's because we're not in compliance with everybody else. And so I appreciate that today.
We'll do accept and work with you in drafting the ordinance and bring that back for your consideration.
Okay. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is further action required at this time?
And direction. Items 99 through 102.